Hello everyone, how are you? I hope that all of you will be fit and fine with the grace of God. My name is Raman and I welcome to all of you to my YouTube channel Nice Tutorial. At this channel you will learn different parts of English grammar. So without wasting the time, let us start the video. In this video, I shall discuss in detail about the present tense. So, at the very outset, we should know very well what is a tense. We know very well that a tense is a form of the verb which tells us about the time of action. We come to know when an action has taken place. It can be observed from these sentences. I play football, I played football, I shall play football. Whether the action has been completed or whether it will happen in the future, we come to know from these sentences. Now, at first, we should also know about the kinds of tenses. There are three main kinds of tenses: present, past, and future. Again, there are four different forms of each tense. For example, in the present tense, these different forms are present indefinite tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense. Similarly, in the past tense, these different forms are past indefinite tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense. Then again in the future tense, the different forms are future indefinite tense, future continuous tense, future perfect tense, future perfect continuous tense. Now we will learn in detail about the present indefinite tense at first. At first, we should know where we have to use present indefinite tense. This tense generally expresses about the habitual action of a person. It is quite clear in the first sentence: I get up every day at 6 o'clock. This is the habitual action of a person who is getting up every day at 6 o'clock. Second one is my watch keeps correct time. This tense is also used to express general truths. Again, whenever we have to express general truth, we have to use present indefinite tense. It is given over here in the sentence: the earth revolves around the sun. Here it expresses about the general truth. Again, in the second one, this is also a general truth: the sun rises in the east. Now, these are some of the general rules which are applied in present indefinite tense. At first, we should know that if the sentence is in the affirmative form and the subject is singular, except I and you, then we generally use S or ES with the first form of the verb. You can notice over here, she sings a song. Here we have used the letter S with the verb sing because the subject is singular, which is she. Again, in the second sentence, Mr. Suresh teaches us English. Here again, we have used ES with the first form of the verb teach. Now, rule number 2. If the sentence is an affirmative and the subject is plural, including singular subjects I and you, then we do not use S or ES with the first form of the verb. We can notice over here, they play football in the evening. Here we have not used any S or ES with the first form of the verb because the subject is plural. Again, this is a singular subject in the second sentence, I. As it is given over here that we have to use only first form of the verb when the subject is I, because with the singular subject I we use only the first form of the verb. We do not use S or ES when the subject is singular, and that is subject I. Similarly, you. Here we have used only the first form of the verb, that is speak. You always speak the truth. Subject is singular, that is you. Here again we have to use only first form of the verb without using S or ES when the subject is you. Now, we should know if the subject is singular and the sentence is negative, then different rules are applied. For example, she does not sing a song. Here, when the sentence is a negative, then we generally use does not. Condition is that if the subject is singular except I and you, then we use does not and the first form of the verb. Here we don't use S or ES with the first form of the verb if the sentence is a negative one. Again, in the second sentence, we can see Ramesh does not play hockey. Here, Ramesh is a singular subject and sentence is negative. That's why we have used the word does not. And we have not used S or ES with the verb that is play. Now, we have to keep in mind if the sentence is a negative one and the subject is plural, including singular subjects I and you, then we use the first form of the verb. But in this case, we use the helping verb do. If the subject is plural, including the singular subjects I and you, then we use do not with these subjects. Whether the subject is plural or whether singular subjects I and you are there. Here again we have to use only first form of the verb, no S or ES over here. Now we should notice if the sentence is an interrogative one. In an interrogative sentence, if the subject is singular, then again we use the first form of the verb and we use the helping verb does. Again the same thing we must keep in mind that the condition is that the subject should not be I and you. Except these two subjects, we have to use only the helping verb does at the beginning of a sentence. For example, does she sing a song? Here does has been used at the beginning and the subject she is a singular one and the first form of the verb only sing has been used. Similarly, in the second sentence, the same rules are applied over here. Now, we should notice that if the sentence is an interrogative and the subject is plural, including the singular subjects I and you, then again we use the first form of the verb and we use do at the beginning of a sentence. Here are some sentences given. Do they play football? Do you like mangoes? Do I make a noise? Here we can see in the first sentence the subject is plural, that is they, and we have used the helping verb do at the beginning of this sentence, and only first form of the verb play has been used. In the second and third sentence, even though the subject is singular, that is you or I, we have to apply the same rules whatever we use for the plural subjects. In the case of helping verb, that is do, here we have used the word do even though the subject is singular, that is you. You is also used as a plural subject, but when we have to use the subject you for a singular person, then we have to apply the same rules that are used for the plural subjects. Similarly, in the third sentence, do I make a mistake? Here the subject I is a singular one, but we have to use the rules which are used for the plural subjects. Now, we shall discuss about the present continuous tense. Now, at first we should know where we have to use it. It is used to express an action which is going on at the time of speaking. For example, she is writing a letter, boys are playing football. Again, it is also used to indicate an action that is planned to take place in the near future. For example, Mr. Sunil is coming here in the evening. I am going to Mumbai in the next week. Now, these are some of the general rules which we must keep in mind. If the sentence is an affirmative one and the subject is singular except I and you, then we use ing with the first form of the verb. Here helping verb is used for the singular subject. For example, she is cooking. Here we have used ing with the first form of the verb because the subject is singular and we have used the helping verb is. Again, in the second sentence, we can see over here the gardener is watering the plants. Here, gardener is again a singular subject and we have used the helping verb is. And then again, the ing has been used with the first form of the verb. Now, if the singular subject is I, then we use helping verb am and again ing with the first form of the verb. For example, I am writing a letter. Now, if the subject is plural and the sentence is an affirmative one, then we use ing with the first form of the verb and we use helping verb are. For example, they are playing cricket. You are telling a lie. Here we have used ing with the first form of the verb and helping verb are has been used over here. Now we should notice that if the sentence is a negative one and the subject is singular, then again we have to use ing with the first form of the verb. And we have to keep in mind the sentence is a negative one, therefore we have to use not in the sentences. For example, she is not washing the clothes. Mohan is not playing any game. We have used ing with the first form of the verb. Helping verb is has been used over here because the subject is singular. Again, we have to keep in mind that if the subject is singular like I, then we have to use the helping verb am and ing with the first form of the verb. For example, I am not telling a lie. These rules have been applied in this sentence. Now, again, if the sentence is a negative one and the subject is plural, then we have again use ing with the first form of the verb and helping verb are, because the subject is a plural one. As it is a negative sentence, that's why we have used not. For example, they are not learning their lesson. You are not doing your work. Here the same rules have been used over here. Helping verb are has been used. Ing with the first form of the verb has been used. Then again we have to keep in mind, if the sentence is an interrogative one and the subject is singular, then we have to use ing with the first form of the verb, and helping verb is used before the beginning of a sentence. Here we can see in the example, is she singing a song? Here is has been used at the beginning. Similarly, in the second sentence, is Ramesh playing hockey? Here again we have used the helping verb is at the beginning of a sentence and ing with the first form of the verb. Now, if the singular subject is I, then we use the helping verb am at the beginning of a sentence. Again, we have to use ing with the first form of the verb. For example, am I telling a lie? Now, if the sentence is an interrogative one and the subject is plural, then we have to use ing with the first form of the verb and helping verb are, because the subject is a plural one. And this helping verb are is used at the beginning of a sentence. We can see over here in the sentences, are they killing a snake? Are you speaking the truth? Here we can see over here that helping verb are has been used over here and ing has been used with the first form of the verb. This is all about present continuous tense. Now we should know very well about the present perfect tense. At first we should know where we have to use it. It is used to denote an action that has been just completed. For example, Sony has reached home safe and sound. Means the action has been just completed. She has completed her homework. This tense is also used to express some past experience whose time is not given. For example, I have seen the Taj Mahal in moonlight, but we don't know when we have to use this particular moment when we have seen the Taj Mahal in moonlight. It might be 1 year ago, it might be a month ago. We are not sure about it. I have studied in this school. Again, the time is not given over here, but we can say that I have studied in this school. We might have studied a few years ago, 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 1 year. Now, these are some of the general rules over here. If the sentence is an affirmative and the subject is singular except I and you, then we use the third form of the verb. We also use helping verb has if the subject is singular. For example, she has washed her clothes. Helping verb has been used because the subject is singular. And third form, washed has been used. First form is wash, second is also washed, third one is also washed. Now, in the second sentence, the teacher has taught us a lesson. Teacher is a singular one. Helping verb has been used because the subject is singular, and third form taught has been used over here. Now, if the sentence is an affirmative one and the subject is plural, then again we use the third form of the verb. And helping verb have we have to use. For example, they have played a football match. Here, subject is plural, that is they. Helping verb have has been used, and third form of the verb has been used. And again, these singular subjects, we have to apply the same rules which are used for the plural subjects. Even though the subject is you is used in both the ways, for singular subjects also and plural subjects also. Here, you have been used as a plural subject over here. That's why we have used the rules of present perfect tense which are used for the plural subjects. You have written. Similarly, I have read, because third form of read is same. Read, read. Spellings are used the same, but the pronunciation changes. We call it as read, even though the spelling remains the same. But we have to use the helping verb have with the singular subject I. Now again, we have to notice if the sentence is a negative one and the subject is singular except I and you, then we use not in this sentence after using the helping verb has. And again we have to use the third form of the verb. For example, she has not cooked the food. Subject is singular, she. Helping verb has been used. Sentence is a negative, that's why we have used the word not over here. And third form of the verb cooked has been used over here. Similarly, in the second sentence, the same rules are applied over here. Now, if the sentence is a negative one and the subject is plural, including singular subject you and I, then we use not with the helping verb have. After using the helping verb have, we have to use the word not because the sentence is a negative one. And third form of the verb is used. For example, they have not learnt their lesson. Third form is learnt. Subject is plural, they, and we have used the helping verb have over here. Similarly, these are the singular subjects I and you, but we have to apply the same rules which are used for the plural subjects over here. Now, if the sentence is an interrogative one and the subject is singular except I and you, then we have to use the helping verb has at the beginning of a sentence. Third form of the verb is used over here. Here we can see in the sentence, has the gardener watered the plants? Gardener is a singular one and helping verb has been used at the beginning. And third form of the verb watered has been used. Similarly in the second sentence. Now, if the sentence is an interrogative one and the subject is plural, then we have to use the helping verb have at the beginning of a sentence, and third form of the verb is used in the sentences as we have discussed earlier. Here we can see in the example, have they played a match? Helping verb have has been used at the beginning with the plural subject they, and third form of the verb played has been used over here. Similarly, if the subject is singular, then we have to use the same rules which are used for the plural subjects over here. Helping verb have has been used with singular subject I, and third form told has been used over here. Similarly, in the third sentence, even though the subject is singular, that is you, then we have again used the same rules which are applied to the plural subjects. Have has been used at the beginning. Third form of the verb seen has been used over here. Now, we start with the present perfect continuous tense. This tense is generally used to talk about actions that started in the past and are still continue. This action is still continuing. For example, I have been studying. Boys have been playing football. We are not sure about it when the boys have started playing, but when we are using this sentence, we come to know that this action has been started earlier, but it is still going on. These are some of the rules which we have to follow. If the sentence is an affirmative one and the subject is singular except I and you, then we use ing with the first form of the verb. And helping verb has been is used if the subject is singular. Here, one thing more we must keep in mind. If a definite period in this sentence is given, then we use since. And if the period is an indefinite, then we use the word for. It is clear in this sentence. He has been reading since morning. Helping verb has been used over here because the subject is singular. Ing is used with the first form of the verb, and period is given over here, that is a definite period. That's why we have used the word since morning. Salma has been cooking the food for an hour. Here, subject is singular, Salma. Helping verb has been used. Ing is used with the first form of the verb because we are not sure about the time. It is we come to know only about an hour. This is an hour. Whether it is the time of morning, maybe afternoon, maybe night, whatsoever, we are not sure about it. That's why we have used the word for over here. Now, again, if the sentence is an affirmative one and subject is a plural one, including singular subject I and you, then we use ing with the first form of the verb. Helping verb have been is generally used in this type of tense. And if the period is a definite, then we use since, and if it is an indefinite period, we use for. Here we can see in the example, they have been living in this house since 2023. Subject is plural, have been has been used as a helping verb. Ing is used with the first form of the verb because here the period is definite, that is 2023. That's why we have used the word since over here. In the second sentence, we can see over here, I have been reading a book for half an hour. When the subject is I, we have to use the same rules which are applied to the plural subjects. Whether the singular subject is I or you, we have to use the same rules which are applied to the plural subjects. Now again, helping verb have been has been used over here. Ing is used with the first form of the verb and period is not definite. That's why we have used the word for over here. Now, if the sentence is a negative one and the subject is singular, then we have to use ing with the first form of the verb. Helping verb has been is used, but we have to keep in mind if the sentence is a negative one, we have to use the word not between has and been. We have to use this way, has not been. Here not has been used between has and been. Again, we have to keep in mind the same formulas. If the definite period is given, then we have to use since. If an indefinite period is given over here, then we have to use since for definite period. Here we can see over here 2 o'clock. A definite time has been given over here. That's why we have used the word since over here. Now, if the sentence is a negative one and subject is plural, including singular subjects I and you, we use ing with the first form of the verb. Helping verb have been is used, and this word not, because the sentence is a negative one, it is placed between helping verb, that is have been. We use it like that, have not been. We have not been playing football match since afternoon. Helping verb have been is used because the sentence is a negative one, that's why not has been used over here. Here definite period has been given over here, afternoon, that's why we have used the word since over here. In the second sentence, I have not been eating food for 15 minutes. Helping verb have not been has been used. Ing is used with the first form of the verb, and period is not sure. It is only for 15 minutes. We are not sure about these 15 minutes are of morning, afternoon, or at night. Now, if the sentence is an interrogative one, then and the subject is singular except I and you, then we use again ing with the first form of the verb. Helping verb has been is used, but we have to keep in mind that if the sentence is an interrogative one of this tense, then we have to use only has at the beginning of a sentence. And we use been after the use of subject. Now we can see over here some sentences are given. Has the carpenter been making a table for an hour? Here helping verb has been used, and been has been used after the use of subject. Ing is used with the first form of the verb because the period is not sure, it is only for an hour. That's why we have used the word for over here. In the second sentence, again has been used at the beginning, and the word been has been used after the subject she. Ing is used with the first form of the verb, and period is sure, that is evening. That's why we have used the word since over here. Now, if the sentence is an interrogative one and the subject is plural, including singular subjects I and you, we use ing with the first form of the verb. Helping verb have been is used, in the sentences. But again, we have to keep in mind that we have to use only have at the beginning of a sentence, and been is used after the use of the subject. For a definite period of time, we use since, and for an indefinite period, we use for. Here it is given in the example. Have they been living in this house since 1996? Here period is fixed, that is 1996. That's why we have used the word since. Helping verb have has been used over here, and been has been used after the use of the subject, and we have used ing with the first form of the verb. Same rules are applied in the second sentence. Have you been reading a book for half an hour? Now, these are some sentences for your practice. You will have to write down the answers to these blanks in the comment section. Now, the remaining two sentences, past and future, will be discussed in the next videos. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, then I hope that you will definitely subscribe it, like it, and share it with your friends and your relatives. Thank you once again for watching this video.